I'll proceed with the another topic, which is other system components. What are the other system components that are being used in the embedded system? Okay, as you know that embedded system is a collection of individual components. So all these individual components, if they are being made, they have been connected, then only they are going to be properly worked. So that means there should be a connection between all the individual components, and there should be a coordination between all the components, such that with this coordination and with this connection only your embedded system is going to work. And one thing is true that all the embedded systems will not come up with all the equipments or all with the components. Instead, few of the components are supposed to be connected externally to this embedded device. Okay, so few of them that we are going to discuss here, like watchdog timer. Watchdog timer, it is a timer. The name has been given because it is going to continuously watch the events that are going to happen in the system. I'll explain it in later stages. Next, reset IC. It is also called as a passive circuit. The next is brownout protection. If any mishappenings that happens to this circuit, then immediately the brownout protection IC plays a major role for safeguarding all the components and then the softwares. So these are few examples that we are going to study in further topics. The first one is reset circuit. The reset buttons are available on the embedded device as like your computer systems are having. Okay, so what is this reset device, reset circuit is going to do? These reset circuits are externally connected to the embedded system, or else few of the embedded systems comes with the reset circuits. Okay, so what it is going to do? It is going to reset the system components. So resetting the system components means it is bringing the initial conditions. It is going to load with the initial values what was earlier available before startup. Okay, so to that condition, to that state, this circuit is going to bring up. Okay, so once a system gets hang, what do? Is that you are going to start the system, or else you are going to restart the system? You are going to restart the system. So what does mean? So restart the system or else resetting the system means it is going to load with the initial values. So all the register values are loaded with all initial values. So that is being done with the help of this reset circuit. The reset circuit is essential to ensure that device is not operating at voltage levels where the device is not guaranteed to operate during system power on. Now, if the system is being prescribed or if the system is being specified to work at 240 volts, it has to work at 240 volts itself. Okay, when at the time of a startup. If it is going to be working about 240 volts, then immediately what happens? This reset circuit is going to reset the system such that no damage will happen to the hardware components and to the software tools and then the software components. Okay. The reset signal brings the internal registers and the different hardware systems of the processor or controller to a known state and starts the firmware execution from the reset vector. So once a reset is being applied, okay, either automatically or else if you press a reset button, then immediately what happens here is all the registers will be occupied or else will be inserted with the initial values, whatever it might be, those initial values. Okay, so from where do you get these initial values? These initial values are already available in the memory. So from the memory, those initial values are being loaded, and see that the firmware execution or the system program execution is going to happen normally. The reset signal can be either active high or else active low. That's all in terms of electronic technology, electronics terminology. Since the processor operation is synchronized to a clock signal, the reset pulse should be wide enough to give time for the clock oscillator to stabilize before the reset state.
Oh.
Now if you see here, the reset signal to the processor can be applied at power on through an external passive reset circuit comprising a capacitor and then a resistor. Okay, so that means the two components that are usually used for reset circuits. One is the capacitor, the other one is the resistor. Okay, so using these two, you can reset the complete system. Okay, and then or else these resistors and then the capacitors can be clubbed together and that can be put it in one IC. Okay, so this IC itself can be called as an reset IC. Okay, the examples here is MAX 810 from Maxim Dallas. Select the reset IC based on the type of reset signal and logic level supported by the processor and then the controller that is in used. Some of the microprocessors or controllers contain, as I told you, built-in reset circuitry, and they do not require external reset circuitry. Now you take an example of your computer system. For the computer system, a reset circuit is not been connected, correct? The reset circuit is already available inside the system. So this reset circuit consisting of the resistors and the capacitors will see that a reset is going to happen at appropriate conditions. The following figure illustrates a reset capacitor based passive reset circuit for active high and then low configurations. As I told you, either active low can be used or else active high can be used. Okay. The reset pulse width can be adjusted by changing the resistance value and then the capacitance value. Okay. See, this is what the circuit for active high and then for active low. As I told you, the resistor and then the capacitor along with a diode form a reset circuit. Okay, such that whenever any mishappening that happens, this circuit gets enabled and immediately a reset pulse is being generated, and that reset pulse generated is being given to an IC, to a microcontroller or also a microprocessor. Then immediately this microcontroller, in turn the complete embedded device gets reset. Then the next circuit that is available or that can be connected externally, or else a few embedded systems might be having this circuit called as a brownout protection circuit. Brownout protection circuit. Okay. So this brownout protection circuit prevents the processor or controller from unexpected program execution behavior when supply voltage to the processor or controller falls below a specified voltage. So that means if your device is supposed to be operated at 10 volts, if your device is supposed to be fixed to be worked at 10 volts, okay, it has to work with 10 volts such that the software will be working very well. If in case, if the device voltage drops to below 10 volts, why? Because of the embedded devices are portable and battery charged. So that means all embedded devices comes with the batteries. So once this embedded devices comes with the batteries, then immediately the voltage gets dropped. So once the voltage gets dropped, your operating system or else your program will not execute properly. Then immediately what it has to do, it has to protect this circuit such that even though the voltage is being dropped, the program execution should happen properly. So for this to happen, you are going to use this brownout protection circuit. It is essential for battery powered devices since there are greater chances for the battery voltage to drop below the required threshold value. The processor behavior may not be predictable if the supply voltage falls below the recommended voltage, and it may lead to situations like data corruption. A brownout protection circuit holds the processor or controller in reset state. It is going to hold the processor or controller in a reset state. When operating voltage falls below the threshold value, as I told that for 10 volts if it is been fixed, and if it is getting reduced below that 10 volts until it rises the above threshold voltage, now this circuit is going to protect this. Okay. Then certain processors or controllers support built-in brownout protection circuits which monitors the supply voltage internally. So that means whenever the embedded devices are coming with the battery powered concept, then immediately the battery, if it is draining out or else it is decreasing its threshold value, then there immediately these circuits play a major role. Now this is what the circuit diagram that is going to represent. If the processor or controller don't integrate a built-in brownout protection circuit, the same can be implemented using external passive or supervisor ICs. I told you that most of the devices come with brownout circuits. Okay, if it is not available, you can connect it externally. Okay. Now what are the components or what is the circuit component that are being used here are the resistors, the transistor, and then the Zener diode. The resistor, transistor, and the Zener diode. The Zener diode, DZ, it is been represented as the Zener diode, and the transistor, then it is called as an Q, forms the heart of this circuit. Okay, the transistor conducts always when the supply voltage VCC is greater than that of the sum of VBE and then VZ voltage. Now if you see here, VCC is a supply voltage, and then that supply voltage, if it is equals to VBE plus VZ. Look at this diagram. The transistor conducts when the supply voltage VCC is greater than that of sum of this. So that means if your supply voltage is 10 volts and then the sum of this VBE and then VZ is equals to 11 volts, then what happens? This transistor is going to conduct. So then there is a continuation, and the transistor stops conducting when the supply voltage falls below the sum of VBE and then VZ. Okay, the transistor stops. As I told you, VCC is equals to 10 volts. Okay, and the supply the VBE and then VZ voltages altogether, if it is equals to 8 volts, what happens? Now there is no conduction, there is no transmission, then immediately the transistor is going to stop. Now what is this transistor going to do? The transistor is going to see that, okay, 10 volts is the minimum voltage that is being set up. If it is being decreased to certain values, then immediately the brownout circuit is going to be activated. Okay. Just a second.